Good evening, everyone. So the poll was just released, uh, literally 17 minutes, like not 17 minutes ago, but 10 minutes ago. Um, I don't know what to say, but we'll get into it in a second because we're not getting excited yet. I just need to write down something. We'll just wait a second for people to get in. But I suppose it is only 5,800 people, 80 people, 18 people. Sorry, it's 5,018 people. Which is a weird number, 18. But yeah, so the opinion poll from OT just came out. I suppose we get straight into it, kind of, just to show you. We were kind of expecting this, to be told answer. I don't think anybody's really surprised. Hello, Val, how are you doing? So you can, I think everybody expected this, but just to get this straight before I go any further, it's only 5,018 people. Imagine that's a weird number, 5,018 people. This is not the whole counting all the votes, basically. The votes, no votes have been counted, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. It's 5,018 people, but it kind of gives you an idea what's probably the way it's kind of going to go. And it is very tight. I'll show you now. You probably have seen it by now. So this is the poll OT, and was done, as it says, 5,018 people across 113 areas. So this is the poll, and this is probably a better example. So this is what was the poll. 5,018 people. It's a weird number, 18 people. 5,000. So this is not like counting the whole election, all the people that voted, etc., etc. But straight away, it's not. If this is true, I hate to say it, but you might have a left-wing government. If this is true, but Sinn Féin has lost a lot of support because you have to remember what Sinn Féin's number here. It's 3% lower than it usually would be, if this is correct. Will probably be more, obviously. We have to wait and see. But Fianna Fáil, you remember for the last few weeks I was saying Fianna Fáil is the government and the media were saying Fianna Fáil is the most popular party in the country. Well, that didn't go well for them. It's not going too well. So this is Fine Gael. So you can see literally 21, 0.1. So literally percentage point in the difference, really. There's literally nothing really between it. If this poll is right. Now, just to say, it is only 5,000. Keep this in mind. It's not the whole election. But it kind of gives you an idea. If this is the way it's going, this gives you an idea. So remember that. It's 5,000. It's not the whole country. But the Green Party, like the left, the West has fallen. If people actually went and voted the Green Party, the Labour Party, the West has truly fallen. The Social Democrats, the woman behind me, be delighted with that to hear that. People before profit, in fairness, at least A2 got a bit more better than people before profit and Independent Ireland. There was others, like there was another thing, it was 2.9%. So that's the National Party. Irish Freedom Party, etc. They didn't put them up. They should have put them up because then it would give us a better idea what's happening. But yeah, it's all eyes these polls. Yeah, but it just kind of gives you an explanation, I suppose, what to expect because it kind of will be. It either be Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. It's going to be one of the three. Let's put it that way. But it kind of gives you an idea, I suppose, maybe because it is 5,000 people, I suppose, that voted. Hello, Jason. How are we doing? Well, how is the form? It's not too bad. Well, apart from seeing this, it doesn't give me too much hope, basically, because I don't know who's worse. You have to pick your poison. I do like just bear with me for a second. Either we have Sinn Féin along with God, Labour Party, the Social Democrats, and the Green Party all in the coalition government together, or God, even worse again, people before profit. So either we have them. I don't know what's worse, to be told, Lindsay. Like you have to kind of pick your poison. Which poison do you want? You have Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, and the Greens and the Labour Party. Basically, yeah, whatever way it goes is not going to be good. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. I hate to say it, but the West has fallen. If this is the case, but hopefully it's not. The independents are doing well. It doesn't show independents here, but independents were on 12.7%. Here we are. It says it here. So independents did well. It's 13%. So hopefully the independents make a difference. We're going by this poll again. This is just a poll, just to say, but I'm just using for argument's sake. If this is the way it's going, if this is the way, and then there's the national parties to say other things. Independent Ireland's there too, just to say. So just to say, I'm not saying this is going to be the outcome of the election, but it'd probably be near enough. That's what I'm trying to say. So 50. No, I don't think Labour's on 56%. No. The Labour Party didn't even have candidates in half of the constituencies, so that's what I'm saying. Like, the Labour Party didn't even have a candidate in Cavan, just to say, in this area. So they couldn't have 56 because and the Labour Party just barely exists. They only have 6 TDs. There's nothing left of the Labour Party. Uh, so I don't know. It's either you have to pick your poison. Do you watch Sinn Féin and the Labour Party and the Social Democrats and people, or do you watch Fine Gael, Green Party and Fine? Whichever. But long story short, whichever way it's going to go is not going to bust. If this is white, hopefully the independents. Hopefully, please God, independents be on tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning we'll be live, and we see that independents are on 30% and above all the rest. That'd be the best outcome. If there was just a whole lot of independents, just to cook the main political parties. Because that'd be great if we see the independents 30%, 40%, something like that. It'd be a clear kick in the gob for them. Or even just go, into independent Ireland. I nearly pick independent Ireland over the West, even though with Kieran Maloney, he's left a bad taste in my mouth. Or even though there's the Irish Freedom parties, to say, other smaller parties like that. But I think at all costs, we need to kind of keep any of these out of power. Or at least if we can put an independence, like say for example, we can get a few independents, they might be able to stop them from doing anything too bad. Let's put it that way. Because again, if it's a coalition government, which it will, nobody has a big mandate. So we have to wait and see. It's all to play for still. But I still think the West has fallen, to be totally honest. To be totally honest with you. We don't know about Jerry Moore. See, no votes have been counted. This is just an opinion poll. So as you see here, it's 5,000 people was sampled across 53 locations. So this is just 5,000 people, but it kind of gives you an idea, if that makes any sense, what people are taking. So 5,000 only Irish Joes went out and did this. So you can see where Sinn Féin was. This is where Sinn Féin was too in Tretty. So you can see that 24% of the vote in 2020, going by this poll. We're just using it for argument's sake. So they're way down Sinn Féin. The same with the Fianna Fáil. Fianna Fáil thought they would do great, and pretty much they're not really much difference there. But the Green Party are pretty fucked. like looking at that, it's pretty fucked. But the Social Democrats, if this is true, the Social Democrats will be one of the biggest parties too, along with these. Because the only person behind the Social Democrats is the Labour Party, and God forbid, the Greens and people before profit. Actually, so the Greens, God forbid. I don't know what. I know people say we wrote New Wednesday, yeah. It'll probably everybody last minute. But this is just a poll, just what to say. But it's kind of a good example to, to give people, the think about, I suppose, what could happen. If that makes any sense. I'm not saying that it's going to happen or it is going to happen or it's not going to happen. But I'm just saying this is just a poll. And it might be true. That's what I'm trying to say. It sounds true enough. So we just put it in the chart because it is a bit low. We'll go through other things. We have other things to discuss now. But I don't know. It could be wrong. We could be wrong. Hopefully, please God, it is wrong. Hopefully, in the morning we wake up and there's 40 independents. Even if Sinn Féin got in the morning, take for example, just for argument's sake, I'm saying this, and they went in with the Labour Party, no other party would go in with them. If they got a few independents, take for example, rural independents, to go in and pull them back when they were going to do something wrong or to destroy the country. At least if you got a good few good-minded people in there, you could put the brakes on it. They can try and put some of the brakes on, if that makes any sense. But we see. Well, I don't think they are, because I watched OT a bit there just before I came up. That's how I found out about it. And they seem to be very upset Fianna Fáil didn't do it as well as they thought. So they're very upset about Fianna Fáil. So they're crying crocodile tears. But I don't think I don't know, it's OT, I suppose. They still get paid. Don't worry, even if Sinn Féin was in the morning, take for example, they will still fund OT. Like Sinn Féin will need OT to kind of shut the public up, basically. If it makes any sense. So nobody's going to get rid of OT out of the main three parties. They're going to use them as the propaganda machine, whatever party's in, as they still do now to this day. But that's what's going to happen. Yeah, but we see what happens. I'm not saying, but it's just for argument's sake, this is just what I'm saying. But definitely Fianna Fáil, but going by this poll, it seems to be true, Fianna Fáil will lose seats. So they won't have, and just going back for a second now, this up and just let me just briefly get this. Like Fianna Fáil, I had this a second ago, give me a second. So just give me 2 seconds. I just get this because there's another thing that's important to say. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Oh no. Um. I, oh my dear. Um. Now this is only a projection. Um. This is only a projection now. So, um, this is only a projection. I don't. Nothing has been counted yet. Just to say. But this is that figure we just got there. Um. So this is a projection of the numbers. So this is not 100%. It could be false. It could be right. It could be wrong. But dear God, if it is, like dear God, um, if it is, like good God, uh, like goodness, the only thing I could say, at least is a good few independents. But dear God, if it is, um, like what the why does Roger Goldman look 50 years younger? Too? Just I know randomly just that. But dear God, if this is right, um, well, hope to God this is not right because this is literally insanity. If this is correct, because again they go adding up by the numbers, so that's what they take based on the poll that was just shown to us. Um, so if this is true, then I hate to say it, but the West has truly fallen. I have to be honest with you, the West has fallen. Uh, I hate to say it, but it generally is because I don't think we've learned anything. To be totally honest, like dear God, if that's right. Like dear God, I hope it's not right. So just to say, no votes have been counted. No votes have been counted yet. This is just a prediction on what was allocated. But take for example, then 5,000. This is what will be allocated, pretty much. Maybe there's a few missing things here and there. But yeah. So what to say here? Obviously, the one thing that sticks out to mind is Fianna Fáil. It's not I don't really know what to say, and then especially the Green Party, like I kind of don't really know what to say. If this is true, then the West has fallen. Like hopefully it's not true, but unfortunately, with the poll again, it seems to be true. Because roughly working it out, it would be probably that. Like it does make sense. Like if Fine Gael would, if they won 21%, um, they would probably have that number. You know, but anyway, that's going to be my nightmares tonight. So I hope we're all looking forward to that. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully I'm wrong in saying this. So hopefully this is just a mesmerized figure. But it's not. It wasn't that. But dear God, if it is, uh, like dear God, um, like good God Almighty, if it is, because if it is true, then we haven't learned anything for the last year. To be totally honest. I don't believe it, but that's what I'm saying. We're not get too excited about it yet. But if it is true, I'm just saying that's why I showed it to you. If it is true, we're kind of fucked. Put it nicely to you. Um, but again, this is only 5,000 people. This is a rough estimate, basically. You know, so I don't know what to say to you. Um, but as I said to people, nobody panic yet. We see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully, there'll be a big change because again, things can change. Hopefully, please God, it does because that numbers for Sinn Féin particularly it's terrifying. And then obviously Fine Gael too. Like basically nothing has been loaned. If that's the case, if this is the case, basically nothing has been loaned over the last year. It's just the same old that's going to be always elected in. Um, so it just be the same old and same old and same old for the next 50 years. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully, again, this is wrong. But again, this is only 5,000 people. Would you believe it's a weird number? 5,018 people. That's how many people were voting this, which is very weird. It's a weird number. Why? I wish they would have asked me, but where were they? Because they were polling stations, so some people were asked and some people weren't. Like they wouldn't fucking dare ask me. I wish they did. Um, but I said that is mortifying. If that is true, like if it is going to be something like that, like I'm just saying it's something like it, not saying it's going to be that. But if it is, then I don't know what to tell you. I genuinely don't know. To be totally honest, there was something else I meant to say. Um, there was something else. There was something important I meant to say, but just give me a second. Um, Where was that gone now? Oh, we have a bigger kind of thing. I'll show you this because this kind of tells you the poem. Yeah, it's happened from all over. So 153 locations. So that could have been in Cavan. They wouldn't down here. I would have come across them 100%. Like on my local polling station, they wouldn't here. Because I was wet polling station 3 or 4 times today just to see who was around. So they definitely wouldn't there. They definitely wouldn't there at 7 o'clock this morning. So it's a pity they wouldn't there. But do keep an open mind, as Brian just said. That I get to your comment on a set. But just with this, now I don't know what kind of fucking thing this is, but RT have concocted this. Recent yeah, so they concocted this. But basically, what I heard in OT before I left, the Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, they're only the two of them together. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael together only have 40% each support, basically. And that's the lowest in the history of the state, just to say, for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. So that's something at least, but not much of a consolation because they still probably will get in, unfortunately. So I hate to break it to you. He said Liv was looking to get a good position for gaining seats. Right here, so here's the male female. Does this tell me much? Oh, Fine Gael. This is Fine Gael and Fine Gael. Oh, this. Oh, wait, that's down the bottom. So, oh yeah, here we are. So this is male and female. What is this Fianna Fáil? 19% Fianna Fáil, 30. So this is the people that were polled. Just to say, this it's just interesting to kind of see what Sinn Féin male 27, 30, 22. Sorry, I'm blind. 20%. So out of the 5,818 people, sorry, Fine Gael. What is this? Is that independent Ireland? It is. Oh, this is independent Ireland. 13%. That ain't too and stuff. What is the males are voting for Sinn Féin? So that's probably the young males. If this is anything to go on, because Sinn Féin, you can see it drops that. Everybody wants to marry Simon Harris. Apparently, all the women want to go after Simon Harris. Apparently, going by this seems what it says. Is there anything else, OT wants to tell us? Oh God, not this one. That's about it. An expo indicates that 30% of well, shit. I'm just showing this because it's important to kind of see it anyway, I suppose. Yeah, that's what, as I was just saying. Yeah, you don't know. Something could change. But unfortunately, looking at the figures and kind of doing it in my head there, if it is true, it's kind of roughly right what the figures were saying, the seats. If it is true, but it might not be true. As I say, it could change. A few hours could change it. Because at the end of the day, you don't really know until you open the ballot box. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like a lot of people probably didn't tell them, But nobody, like if they came to me, if they wouldn't have come to me this morning at 7 o'clock, I would have told them who I was voting for, etc. Like I would have directly told them. I would have answered all the questions under the sun. But nobody came to me, and I'd seen nobody about. Even when I went down many times, not one of them was bad. I seen nobody. There was literally ghosts down here. Nobody was around to get any answers. But if they did, I don't know. I don't know where they were. They must have been maybe in Cavan Town. But too bad they didn't ask me. So I would have probably been arrested for saying. I don't know, but hopefully that isn't right. But again, we'll be here for a long time tomorrow, so you hear me crying all the time and a lot of coping. There's going to be a lot of coping for the next probably few days anyway. I could be huffing coping all the time. Independent candidates, independent two. Yeah, independent are two different parties. Yeah, over the two. Yeah, the two afraid of voting right wing parties, I suppose. That's pretty much really it. And especially, like, you have big corporations, people in corporation jobs. They want to keep the status quo with Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. Sorry, about 100 billion messages into the seat of the poll. Of course it did. So I don't know, to be totally honest. So we'll take it with a grain of salt. But I'm only showing this because if it is true, 5,000 people, as I say, it gives a good kind of estimate. But again, that can all change. It really generally could. Um, but like going by this thing here too, Sinn Féin's vote has decreased a good bit. We see what it says, but I don't know. But Sinn Féin still hasn't done well, but that's what it says. Because in 2020, they lost support. So they still have lost support going by the poll. We won't know until tomorrow. But it seems to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's kind of just to get people in the mindset that this could be what it is. And I suppose we do have to face reality, I think, too. That it's going to be one of the big parties. There has to be a big party. Like the small parties, like even independents, too. There won't be enough majority, basically. Yeah, even if you're into an independent Ireland got a lot of seats, there wouldn't still be majority. You need Fianna Fáil, Van Gael, or Sinn Féin. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but you probably would because you need an 88% majority in Dáil Éireann, 88 seat of a government majority. And just say, for example, that poll said 30 independents, even if they all got together and then independent Ireland into, you still wouldn't have enough. You generally wouldn't have enough. You would only have about 50. So you would need some other big party. Because I would rather take independent Ireland, even though I don't like Kieran Maloney, etc. But I take them any day over Sinn Féin or Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. And I hate to say that because I despise Kieran Maloney, but I take them any day over it. Over Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, and Sinn Féin, and the Labour Party, especially the Green Party, even worse again. Like, do you want me to get even worse? The people before profit, God forbid. Like it couldn't get much worse. In nicest possible terms. I mean no offense to anybody who voted them parties, but it's Jovo. The West has fallen. But we wait and see. Again, we're not getting excited over it yet, but it's something to think about, I suppose. Because again, as I say, there has to be one big party, unfortunately. That's just the way I think it's going to go. I know. So it's just the way it could go. I don't know. But yeah, we'll go back to talking about it. Instead of kind of having a meltdown, let's just talk about the things. Turkeys for the Christmas, yeah. Well, we could all go and have. We might not be able to. I don't know what they're going to do. But so this is to do with this is the latest opinion poll at 8 o'clock there in Cavan from Northern Sound. So it has ramped up, particularly now in the last hour, as you were saying, Brian. It went mad. People in Cavan went mad. In Ballygym stuff, 54% people turned up in Ballygym stuff, which is very good. So out of them 60,000 people that's registered to vote in Cavan, I say roughly, I'm not too sure now, but I say roughly, maybe, I don't know, 30,000 maybe did vote. I think, maybe. I could be wrong. That's what I take anyway, I think. I'm not too sure. We see, I suppose. So in Clonus, as I said, they've done very well. Clonus done well throughout the day in terms of voting, 44. Virginia has a percentage of 35. Cavan Town seemed to figure as at 7 o'clock or 36, which is very bad for a big town. Cavan Town is the main town of the county, and Virginia is doing better. So you know something's very wrong there when you see that. Actually, no, I'm telling a lie on that. The 1% behind it. Sorry, I meant to say Clonus. Clonus is doing better, and there's not really around Clonus anymore. Castleblaney, obviously, 38. Monaghan Town, 42. Like, Monaghan Town, I think, had the highest, along with Shercock. Shercock done well. I don't know why everybody in Shercock went out. Ballygym stuff was out. Where is Shercock? I know that sounds weird to say. Where's the Shercock? Mulla done well. Like, Mulla's only a small little village. So I don't know where all these 60 people came from Mulla. In County Cavan. I don't know where they all came from, but they all went out in the numbers anyways. They're all very upset about something. Cross Gaelican, yeah, about that. And Kilnakel, yes, 52, 50, sorry, 51, 51. I'm doting over myself. And then this is from, just to go back to, just to talk about, and then we go back to the poll, just so I briefly touch. Obviously, the polls have closed now, just to say to people if it's not obvious enough. They're not having a fit. There's been an increase in voter turnout, yeah, but the usual Democrat. This is from a while ago too, so we just compare the difference too. Uh, it's like about Cotillo and stuff like that. It didn't say anything about October anyway, or even here where I am, it didn't say anything about it. But yeah, I don't know why. All of a sudden at 7 o'clock, like 6 o'clock, these towns in this part of Cavan, like down the other side of Cavan, everybody just went mad and went out to vote. So I don't know what caused that. Um, so everybody just lost the plot in these three places in Cavan and just went out and voted like mad. They all went with the granny and everything because it seemed like that's what happened. Yeah, unfortunately, it does. Like at the end of the day, there has to be one big party because you need an 88 seat majority in Dáil. Because even if it was if you didn't have 88 seats, take for example, the Labour Party, take for example, could put in a motion in the government, say for example, they don't agree with whatever this government policy is, whoever, they need an 88 seat majority to keep a coalition together, like to keep a government together and votes, etc., etc. And regardless, even if Independent Ireland, take for example, or the independents, take for example, and even Aon got in, they still wouldn't have the 50 seats, maybe 40 seats. They still wouldn't get it. So they need a big party. So unfortunately, I have to say it have to be Sinn Féin or Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael because there's no other big parties. That's what I'm saying. So that's the worst thing about it because they're the only ones that have the numbers. And going by the poll, Sinn Féin is going to have at least 30 TDs anyway. They are going to have 30 TDs, and Fine Gael definitely going to have 30 TDs. Fianna Fáil, we don't know. It could be 30 or so. That's what probably I say it could be. So, you need a big number of TDs to get an 88 seat majority. Because they're not easy to get an 88 seat majority, and then obviously you need coalition governments, etc. Because no big party's going to get it, but you need a big party along with smaller parties, really. But I don't know. But I hate to say it, but we have to face reality, I think, too. That it's going to be one of them. It's either going to be the devil or the devil. So you have to pick which devil, because it's just devils. That's pretty much what it is. Like you either pick the devil or the devil. So you have to choose. You have no witty choice in this, man. Unfortunately, there's the devil and then there's the devil. You have no middle ground. Unfortunately, here. I wonder would Labour go into coalition with? I don't know. But going by this, they've done well enough. But going by the poll, but again, they could all change. But I don't know. They went in before with Fine Gael. You remember John Bolton, etc., etc. So I don't see why they wouldn't now. If they got their way, like if Anna Batch wanted what she wanted done, like say for example, she wanted another bicycle shed outside Leicester House. If she got that, she probably would go into coalition with them. Or if she got something she wanted to do, like fuck over the working class women, the only Joe that's at home with their children, like Joan Bolton did back in the day. If she wants to do that, then she'd probably do that too. So as long as she gets away, then she probably would go in with any party. That's what I think about the Labour Party. I think they'll just go. I don't think they have any morals. I think they just jump into bed with whatever party gives them the best deal, whatever they get to do. Yeah, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, like it's clear as daylight. Like there's nothing between them. They're just basically one and the same. Like the might as well conjoin. The might as well just call themselves Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael party together. The party of together. So that's what I'm saying. Because basically, there's no difference. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, there's no difference between years ago. We were pro treaty and anti treaty. There's literally no difference between them now. There's no difference whatsoever. They're basically in the same bed as they're in the same bed, basically. That's what I'm saying. So it makes no difference. If you vote Fine Gael, you get Fine Fáil. If you vote Fine Gael, you get Fianna Fáil. You either vote you vote the devil or you vote the I don't know. I don't know who else you could say. But you get if you vote one, you get the other. So was that. That's what. So there's no difference between Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. That's all gone. Hello, Sean. Sorry, we're having a mental breakdown here. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There has to be one of the big parties because there has to be one big party because again, 88 seats they need in the Dáil to have a majority, and that's a lot of seats. 88 seats out of 174, isn't it? 174, 173 is a lot of seats. It is a lot of seats. So he was asked for no idea. Yeah, I wasn't asked for any photo idea, but the people knew me. All the people knew me straight away because they remember me for the election that time. The what they got the family care I find them. So nobody asked me for any idea because I'm literally that well known around here that nobody asked me because they knew exactly who I was and all that. Um, like even one of the women in the other polling booths was like, "That's the fellow from the YouTube." I often hear about around this area. Like she literally said it, not in my polling booth, but in the other polling booth. Like she literally said it because she said I often heard of him. She didn't know me personally, but she often heard of me giving out. So that was what was said. Because I heard her saying it to one of the people in the corridor. So that was the funny thing. Because I'm literally that well known. She knew who I was, but I don't know who she is. But she knows who I am, and the people know who I am. You know. But see, it's all the tidy talents work, etc., etc. Like I'm very well known for that, and for different community projects, etc., around here. So very well known. If you asked anybody from Buttersbridge, they would tell you. Uh, they might not know me personally, but they know who I am basically. So that's why they didn't ask me because they knew who I was. Uh, and because there's no other fool that'd be out at 7 o'clock in the morning to go and vote, Um, like they were wondering probably where I was when the European election, etc., because I would have been there if I was here. I would have been down at 7 o'clock in the morning still with the European election and the local town election. Like any voter town, I'm going to be down at 7 o'clock in the morning. Basically, what I'm trying to say to you, even if it's a Sunday or Saturday, I'll still be down at 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, not many people say that. What's in their brains? I don't know. I would love to know. We should do a scientific study. Because I don't get it, to be totally honest. Like, have they not shown time and time again, particularly Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, and then obviously Sinn Féin too, not much better. They're pretty much one and the same. Sinn Féin, I don't know, I don't know if it could be worse. I don't know, to be totally honest. Like, it's just, I don't know. I think the two, like the devil and the devil, basically. As I say, you have to pick the devil, you pick the devil. You basically have no choice in the matter. It's unfortunate. But, that's the thing. What do I want for Christmas? I want to get out of here if this is the case, because the shingles will be coming for me. They're all going to lock us up. So, the worst thing about it is if Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael gets in, they're going to pass this hate speech bill. And again, if they get a majority, they're going to get the hate speech bill passed within a year if they do. And that's the sad reality. They will get it done within the next year if they do get the majority. Even if Sinn Féin got in, they will pass the hate speech bill anyway. So I think you're done for. I think we're done for anyway if they do pass it. Because I couldn't imagine them saying, let's have a referendum on it. I don't think they could ever say that now. That's the way they should do it. If they're ever going to do it, it's up to the Irish people to decide on that particularly. Because again, it's in the article of the Constitution that you're entitled to your freedom of expression and your opinion, etc., etc. Nothing really can override that. The only thing that can override that is the people themselves voting on it. But I don't think that it never would pass because nobody would want to limit their own rights and what they can and can't say. Nobody would ever do that, like regardless of anything. Nobody would ever do that. It's the same with the family care weapon. The Fianna Gael thought everybody was stupid and just vote, accordingly. Well, obviously, it seems to be that case, to be totally honest today, unfortunately. But, they thought everybody was stupid back then, too. They would just vote blindly for, the coins, But anyway, as I said, democracy works. But anyway, I suppose we won't doom and gloom over it. We see what comes of it tomorrow. We see. In the country, I hope none of them does. But I don't think they ever will do it anyway, first of all. Teach. The vast majority of Irish people would. Might not say it publicly. A lot of people wouldn't be that fond of it. Limiting the own speech, etc. Because you can't even see where that's going. Like anybody with any kind of awareness around what's happening can kind of see where that's going. That's going down a very dangerous path when you start policing speech. And especially as you see in the morning, there's burglaries happen all the time. There's robberies happening. And the girls don't do anything about it because they're too busy running after people, misgendering people. Like that's what would happen if the hate speech bill passed. People that misgender each other, the Gardaí be chasing up them, and people be going around killing each other on the street, and the Gardaí be too worried about somebody misgendering somebody in the street. Basically, that's what would happen. Like we all know that. That's what would happen. And the Gardaí be too busy running around about people calling people a man instead of a woman, and that's what would be happening. Like we all know it. instead of actually fighting crime like knife crime and gun crime, etc., it'll be about policing the internet basically, which I don't think you never win it because I don't know. But again, this is just my opinion, just to say to people. I'm not saying people must agree and stuff like that. It's just what I see it as. And I do think it's important to always say it out straight, because I think too many people are too afraid of saying stuff, and I think that's the thing. They're too afraid of losing their job, and they're too afraid of saying stuff. And when we get to that point as a society, people can take advantage. Bad actors can take advantage. Unelected bureaucrats, etc., can take advantage of that when people are too afraid to stand up and say what they think and what they feel. And it's important that people do speak up. So it's very important. Yeah, well, obviously, if you threaten somebody, like if you went and threatened somebody in the street, I think that goes without saying. You shouldn't go around saying I'm going to kill somebody or something like that. Obviously, I think everybody agrees with that. That's basic thing. You can't just do that to anybody. Like you can't just go up to some random kid on the street and threaten to kill him. That you can't do that. That's incitement to violence, etc. Nobody argues with that. That's going a bit too far. Like there's limitations in terms of that. Like you can't shout fire. Take for example, in a burning building. Take for example, you're in a big theater. You can't just shout fire and there's no fire. There's limitations to what you can do, and that in terms of that for public safety in terms. Like you can't just do that in a theater. Take for example, when there's no fire, because that'll cause a panic. You get what I'm saying in that terms. Is that me? I'm sure people get that. You can't just go around shouting fire in crowded buildings. Because that's literally going to start a stampede and kill people. How good odds and kill Jerry Hunt? We'll see what happens. I don't know. But it'd be a charity if Mary McDonald lost the seat. But I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. But he might get a seat. I don't know. I haven't been keeping much like up around that area of Dublin. I've been more looking around this part of the country, in Cavan, Monaghan, and even just beside us in Lockwood, and even Mead, for example, just beside us, and Kerry too. Well, unfortunately, I had to watch OT the last few weeks, and I'm sick of it. The only reason why, because I want to hear what they're saying, what are they talking about, and what they're trying to. Because I want to know what other people, like what they're saying to the Irish people about it. That's what I need to know. So unfortunately, I'm not having a good time listening to them, and unfortunately, I have to listen to them tomorrow too. So, 40% voted for Fine Gael, really pretty much. Presidential election next year. Yeah, they probably will have that vote on the European Court. There's a European Court vote, a referendum. They didn't have it during. They were supposed to have it during the local charity election. They didn't have it, so I don't know when they're going to do that. So, and the worst thing about Sinn Féin when they get back, because the first thing Mary Lou McDonald said, and I remember this outside Dublin Castle, the first thing she said about the referendum and family care referendum, the first thing she said, we're going to rerun it. As soon as the vote was true, that people utterly rejected it. We're going to have another vote on when we get into government. So that's what they're going to do straight away, Sinn Féin. The family care referendum all over again. That's pretty much what's going to happen. They remember them saying that. Hello, Bob. I don't know if they said hello to you, but people seeing the picture. Yeah, but it's just people not seeing the picture or not caring to see the picture, I suppose, too. Like, as I say, people are more worried about, I suppose, the bread and butter on their table than the bigger issue, I suppose, if that makes any sense. Like, if you can't feed your family, I suppose that's the main thing people are thinking about, more than the bigger issue around sovereignty, etc., etc. Because at the end of the day, when you can't feed your family, sovereignty is not much good to you, I suppose, in that terms. Even though Fianna Fáil not going to feed your family, but in a lot of cases, some people do think like that, if you get what I'm saying. But I don't know. We see it'd probably be Bertie Howen. I wouldn't be surprised to be Bertie, because Bertie's always said he's going to go for the office. So I wouldn't be surprised to be honest. Well, the president can't do much, as I say, so he couldn't do much harm in the office, because they can do fuck all basically. The only thing they can really do is have power over legislation, like to sign the legislation. That's really all. Like they do nothing really else. Like that's it. They just sign legislation, make sure it's constitutional. That's about it. Nothing really else. Commander-in-Chief of the army, send them all the world. That's about it. Literally nothing else really. It represents the state. That's pretty much it. It's pretty much just a tick the box, pretty much, office. It's not like the office of the president of the United States or something like that. You don't really have executive power. Uh, it's pretty much meaningless, the presidency in Ireland, in a way. If that makes any sense, it's not. It doesn't have too much like sway on the Irish public or the Irish society in general. Sean Quinn, I wouldn't be surprised he could win. I would vote for Sean Quinn if he did, because I'd love to see a man that was fucked over by the banks, etc., get back into, and he's coming back. He is coming back. He's getting a lot of money back, and he has a back door into the sleeve also there in Ballyconnor. I'd love to see a man coming back, like a man that worked himself up from nothing. Like Sean Quinn worked himself up from the ground up to become out one of the Ireland's. Which, and again, if you ask anybody in Ballyconnor, if you go down to Ballyconnor now, the other side of Cavan, then if you said anything bad about Sean Quinn, God help you if you said it, because people down there treat him like he is royalty down there in Ballyconnor, because he gives so many young people back in the day when there was literally no work in Ballyconnor. Only for Sean Quinn, nobody would in Ballyconnor would have probably a job like back in the day. That's the only thing, because there was nothing going to Ballygym. So he put not Ballygym stuff, Ballyconnor on the map. Why am I taking Ballygym stuff? But only for Sean Quinn, he wouldn't had Ballyconnor would be nothing nowadays. It wouldn't be on the map. So hopefully he would, but I don't think he would. I think he probably wouldn't. He wouldn't want it. I don't think. I don't think so. I never heard him say anything about it, but I don't think he would want it. And the other thing too, because a lot of the Dublin establishment, the NGOs, etc., that are kind of snub, particularly Cavan people. They don't like country people, so they wouldn't want them to really be there. The NGOs and the big unelected bureaucrats in the government, they wouldn't want them. Well, Bobby Sands and stuff like that. I wonder what. I don't know what they would take a Sinn Féin nowadays. Be the new Sean Quinn. Could you give me a loan there, please? But he's not the worst fellow, Sean Quinn. That's what I'd say. Like you go down to Ballyconnor now and you ask about Sean Quinn, people would literally people do literally take the world of him over there. And so sure, widely so, because he did employ a lot of people and give them hope and gives them a job. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wished. We won't stay too much longer tonight, because we'll be live tomorrow at probably 9:30 to talk about what's happening around the whole country, who's getting elected. But hopefully, please God, Helen McAtee, Rodrigo Gorman, hopefully they get the boot. And Norma Foley, of course, doing a few others. So at least if some of them got the boot, it wouldn't be as bad, basically. It'd still be bad, but if some of them got the boot and got kicked out, at least we could celebrate something. I'd be sleeping. Yeah, well, the count starts at 9. It'll probably be 9:30 or so, I'd say, give or take. Hopefully all going well. Again, all going well and everything's working okay. Because that'll be the time something doesn't work. But all going well, we should. I'll probably go and nearly get some sleep, because I'm up since 4:00 this morning. Up because I wasn't up, but I got up at 5, but I couldn't get to sleep. So basically, I was awake since 4, basically, and I'm basically going all day, basically. More or less, what I'm trying to say here. So I'm going longer than some of the politicians tonight. There's a show about the thing. Too excited to vote. No, it's important to, particularly again, as I say, it's well talked about around here, that a young person went and voted at 7:00 in the morning, was there before the thing even opened for 3 minutes. There's an important thing to say, particularly. It's an important thing to do too. Especially going out of his way to do it, and especially going off to work. Then I wouldn't mind if I was going to sit in the house and do nothing, but I had to go off to work then at 8:00. So it wasn't like I could go home and put my feet up and sit down and relax. I couldn't do that, unfortunately. So, but so that's what I'm saying. Who was which person? What person? Which person? What? Which? What? Who? Yeah, well, like I wouldn't ask me worst enemy to watch OT at the moment, but unfortunately, I have to listen to what they're saying at the moment, so I know what they're talking about, so I can call them up if I hear some bullshit that's there. Who was wearing the Santa? With me? What hat? Who's wearing what hat? I'm confused. Confusion. I'm just in. Well, you're just going out again, Tony, in a second. So, you know, who wet the vote? I'm not the youngest. Jesus, don't give me that. The youngest. I think there's people at 18. I'm 21. But definitely, I probably was the youngest for a long time because the man after me, he was 15 minutes after me. He was in his 50s or so. Like, he wasn't a young man. And he was going off somewhere down the country. So that's the reason why I went early to vote. Like, he came at 7:15. I was there at literally 7 o'clock. So that was the next person after that. Not many people went then after that. I don't think there was nearly anybody then to 8 o'clock at this polling station down here. Like, basically, nobody was there. Apart from, so basically, probably between them hours here and in this part of Cavan, Butters Bridge, it must only maybe about 3 people, maybe between that hours in an hour that voted. In the first hour, particularly. But that's the same across the whole country. My vote was the same sex whatever. And yeah, that's a while ago now. Like, my first vote was the yoke. It's like the family care one, sorry. So, but hopefully made a difference. That's how I said. Because the main thing was to stop Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael getting a seat at all costs. That's pretty much. And same with Sinn Féin, to stop from getting a seat at all costs. And that's what was reflected in my vote, to stop them getting anything at all costs. So that's pretty much what I was thinking about. Anyway, lads and lasses, I'm afraid I have to go to bed because, again, I'm literally up, I don't know how many hours, but again, 4 o'clock this morning to now is a long, long time. And it feels like a whole day, to be totally honest, because it's that long. It feels like time went very slow today, to be totally honest. Hopefully so, but we see, anyway. Yeah, well, here I leave this too for tonight. I'll talk to you again probably 9:30. If not 9:30, it'll be 10 o'clock. Obviously, there'll be no folks really in straight away. It's going to take him probably to 11 o'clock before we get probably some kind of votes or some kind of estimate of what's happening in some smaller constituencies, not in Cavan and all, and it'll take some time on Dublin and stuff like that. The smaller areas, really, really small areas. We see. Yeah, literally should be all going well again. I do 9:30 or 10 o'clock, just to say, between them 2 times. We see what's happening. We'll probably be live for a good bit. We'll probably be live definitely to 12 o'clock. Like, we'll probably be live nearly majority of the day tomorrow. We'll see how we get on, but we're going to be live for good because there'll be votes coming in. Like, basically, results coming in constantly, pretty much. And then there'll be different things coming in, and we'll be talking about it, and probably losing the mind too, of course. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow because I need to get to sleep because it's going to be a long, long day tomorrow too, and a long, long day Sunday, and a long, long day Monday, and a long, long day Tuesday. So basically, long, long days every day. So yeah, thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night, and don't think too much about it anyway. And I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you then. Good night.